because we have other ordinances that require a development agreement in certain situations, and they don't have a way to do it if they're less than 100 acres.
So do you think we can make this change and then maybe amend it further, or should we, no, I don't want to do that. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Is Daniel on, Martoma? Mr. Martoma, are you online?
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me okay?
How are you feeling today, Daniel? Sorry I didn't respond to your email.
Oh no, improving, but my voice is still a little bit raw, so I
Okay.
apologize for the.
Well, thank you for not sharing. We appreciate it.
Yes, I'm still doing some research into the distinctions between that major and minor developments, and yet I did send you over just a brief summary, some summary points earlier today. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at that.
I saw the summary points for the...
For
Okay,
the
I see it
development
now.
agreement, yeah.
Yeah. And you list pros and cons for the development agreement. I'll share this with you.
Correct,
With
correct.
the commission.
But as far as the major minor, I'm still finalizing research on that.
Okay.
So as far as removing the 100 acres requirement, do you think that's something we could do safely at this point and then amend it again when we've come up with kind of our final version of what we want to do? Or would you have us hold off on that, in your opinion, Daniel?
That's a good question. I think you could probably proceed with it since it's on the docket right now, and then revisit when we're ready to kind of finalize. I think going forward, it would probably make more sense to have all of those ducks in a row. But as far as tonight, if the commission felt they wanted to proceed, I don't see a reason why they couldn't on that one line item.
Okay. Yeah, it seems from your pros and cons, I mean, there are both, but
Would we need to do another public hearing if we did that?
I would say yes. If it's,
So, and that'd be a much-
especially if we,
Why should we change it now? Let's just do it all at once.
yeah.
I mean, for one little thing.
Yeah, if we change this now and send it on, then we would need another public hearing to do it. But if we did it all at once, we would not need another public hearing because it's still open, right? We haven't made a motion yet.
So we wouldn't need to do another one?
I don't think so, no. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because we
I'm
do
just making sure.
we're recommending and sending it on, and then, yeah.
I think the only reason to do it tonight is if we had something pending that we wanted to get a development agreement
I
for.
don't
If
think we
don't, then I
necessarily
see a
do.
reason to do this
Okay,
right now, so.
all right. I think that's the wisest move, to table this till Dan can get some more info on us, so, to us, so.
Everybody agrees? I'll make the motion.
I love it.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we table the amendment to chapter 9.
I have a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Aye.
carries.
Oh.
Oh, perfect. Oh,
Go ahead and
well,
I second
we'll
it.
acknowledge it, so you'll be fine, and then we'll, okay. All right. Commissioner Abelman, is that you online? Okay, it might not be. Let's just carry the motion as it was till Josh.
Are you there?
Oh, there he is.
I'm online, but if you guys want to proceed like I'm not here,
Okay,
because that'll just probably complicate things, and Commissioner Westergaard can just take my place for the evening.
I think that's fine. So he wouldn't vote? Is that what we're? Maybe the next one, then we will.
If he's saying he's
Okay.
not here officially, then Westergaard can take his place.
You'd
Yeah,
be,
that's what he just said.
you'd be
He
just
just
a-
wanted to listen.
yeah, you'd be
Okay
just
with
a
that.
silent listener, yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay,
just wanted to make sure that that was tabled because there were some other things that we talked about going over
Right.
on that development agreement, so.
okay. All right. Let's carry on then. All right, now. So we tabled that. We got a motion to open a public hearing to suspend overlays and rezones until the completion of the general plan. So I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to open a public hearing to suspend overlays and rezones until the completion of the general plan.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So now we will go into a public hearing, and this is regarding the suspension of overlays and rezones until the completion of the general plan. So if you have something to say, you're here in the public, please come forward. All right, seeing none from the public. Okay.
Greg Jackson again.
Mhm.
I just barely found out about these agenda items today, so I don't know exactly what they entail, so I did want to come and see what you meant. So can you explain a little bit what this current motion is?
So we would have a moratorium on any motions regarding legislative decisions regarding developments, any overlays, any rezones, anything like that, until the general plan is complete. Because what's gonna happen is while we're doing the general plan, some of those zones could possibly change as well as some of our ordinances. So we want those in line before we have any new submittals. And when I say submittal, it's something that has come to the commission before for a discussion or motion to carry on to the city council. So if there have been work sessions or anything like that, from where I interpret it, that doesn't count as starting the clock on a development. So you'd have to come up for a motion, the public would have to be aware of that development, which we have some that are in process, but others that aren't, they would be suspended till we rework the general plan.
Okay, so what's the starting point for?
It would be, when the city council adopts it, would be the starting point. The way I understand moratoriums, legal would explain it better, but I believe it is a 6-month time frame, maximum. We are saying until the general plan is completed. And we have no definitive date on the general plan yet, so.
However, we all want it to be over.
We do want it to all be over. It is a lot of work, and we have worked very hard, but because it's taking a lot of our time and meetings, we feel it necessary to put those, all developments on hold until that's done. A lot of jurisdictions have done that in the past, you know, and they for the same reasons, so.
Okay, I do have a statement prepared that I guess I'd like to make.
Mhm.
And it goes like, well, first I wanted to say you guys did a great job on the 4th of July. I thought that was fun. I brought my family down from Pleasant View. We came down, we spent a few hours down here, caught a lot of fish that then we had to figure out what to do with.
You cook it. Smells, gotta cook fish faster, it's gonna smell up, stink up your fridge.
Yeah, so that was great. And then I appreciate you doing the Pledge of Allegiance in your prayer, Commissioner Ma. That felt good. It felt good that you guys did that. So what I wanted to say is just bring up that my family and I have farmed and ranched our ground over out north for 4 generations. We own about 1,500 acres in Plain City over there. So when people talk about the future of Plain City, they're talking about land that has been in our family for decades. And nobody wants to see it develop the right way more than we do. You know, we hope to see great things happen with Plain City and our piece of ground in Plain City. You know, we want to see great things happen out there. We understand why a moratorium against overlays and rezones at this time might seem like the safest choice. And like I said, we do want the same thing you do, a community that grows carefully and thoroughly. But we'd like to ask you to think about what this moratorium, it's a tough word for me, would really do. It won't stop growth, it will only stop the work that's already been being done to help plan for it. Years ago, Kevin's and my grandpa, Ken Jackson, and us started working with Plain City on this project out there. Then in April, we started working with Coal West on this project. And we feel like we follow the city's process every step of the way. Working with Coal West, we submitted our application and a draft development agreement, several draft development agreements. We've paid the required fees, met with city staff, attended technical review committee meetings, talked with members of this commission and the city council, and have been waiting for the city's feedback so we can keep improving what we're working on. We feel like we've done everything the city has asked of us, and all we're asking tonight is for the city to continue working with us on this project that we started quite a while ago. If this moratorium applies to projects that are already in process, it freezes months of work, well, actually years of work that many of us have already invested in. It might also send a message that following the rules and working closely with the city doesn't really matter, because your project can still be put on hold after you've done everything you were asked to do. We'd also ask that you think about what this project brings to the table. This isn't just another development application. It's a detailed look at nearly half of the land that's expected to shape Plain City's future. We spent years studying roads, water, sewer, parks, open space, traffic, and how this project would fit well into Plain City and the surrounding communities. We don't think that our work gets in the way of updating the general plan. It actually helps it. Instead of starting with a blank page, the city already has a great deal of real information to consider. So our request is simple. If you believe a moratorium is necessary, please allow projects that were already submitted and are already under review to continue moving through the process. At the very least, ask staff to continue reviewing our application and give us the feedback we've been waiting for while the general plan updates move forward. Those two efforts can happen at the same time and make each other better. We definitely want to keep working with you and get in front of the growth that's coming. We've invested our time, significant resources, and our trust in this process because we believe in Plain City. We believe Plain City can grow in a way that protects what makes it special. We simply ask that you let that work continue without being paused by a moratorium. Thanks.
Any other comments? Any comments from attendees online? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Move that we close the public hearing.
Okay, have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Dustin? All right, commission discussion. Start off?
So,
Go for it.
so just to be clear, the suspension was for all active and future applications?
It is just future. I don't think we can
No, yeah.
spend.
Can't do
Wouldn't be
active.
any active, we're not gonna do that.
Right.
Yeah, we can't
Okay.
do any active. But when I say active, that means they have started the process
Rezone
for the
application.
rezone and the application. You know, where in your case, you're still working with the city, we would definitely welcome work sessions and anything like that. However, any motion associated with the development agreement would have to be suspended until the general plan was done. That's the way I see it.
Only if a rezone's required, yeah, or an overlay.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
But we'd still continue to work with.
Absolutely.
everybody, Have work meetings.
Sure.
Like, all the progress is gonna keep going, except for we're not gonna have,
We're not gonna have any legislative motions to
yeah, to,
carry forth. That was the idea of the moratorium. Right, I understood it. It gets a little complicated. I know there's people that are in the process or developments that are in the process, and we don't want to hold those up. We can't legally do that.
Right.
But you know, we can't put a stop on that till we get the general plan done. Which we've made a lot of good progress. We've got a lot of community input on it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, our next work meeting, I think, is coming up.
Next week, or no, it's the end of the month, right?
Week after next, right? Is that right, Tammy? It would be our meeting? Okay, and then, we'll see how it goes from there.
These guys are having a work session next week.
With the
Right.
city council.
The city
So that's
council.
not gonna hold up that work session. So, and the city council might have this on their agenda for next week too, because we'll recommend it to city council. But that doesn't mean you can't hold work sessions and get feedback from us. Okay?
Hey, Craig, will you come up? Sorry. Gotta get it all recorded for posterity.
So what you're saying is, if this moratorium passes, we could still keep working
Absolutely.
towards a development, even working through drafts of development?
You bet we could definitely do that. But there will be no motion done by the commission or the council until the general plan is done.
Okay. And so you said that moratoriums are 6 months?
The timeframe, from my understanding, is it's a 6-month maximum timeframe. We're hoping it's less than that once we get the general plan in effect. You know, general plan will be a legislative motion as well. So once we make the motion on the general plan is when that moratorium will cease.
Do you have any idea when you think about?
No idea. I wish I could give a definitive idea, but I don't.
It's a lot of moving parts, but
Yeah.
like, this is a good example with your property of something that we're gonna be wanting to work with you to decide what these zones we want them to look like going forward. And so we wanna decide all of that before we start accepting
And
applications.
as we hold work sessions for the general plan, encourage you to come and participate in it, because, you know, every landowner or citizen in Plain City should and can participate, you know, and give input regarding it. That doesn't mean what you want for your land is going to be the end-all be-all, but the input is very valuable and, you know, will be listened to. Okay?
I've been debating making this following comment. I don't want to sound like I'm picking a fight, but it is kind of a direct comment. Why would you pass this moratorium if the only public feedback you're getting at this public hearing tonight is don't do it? What's the purpose of the public hearing?
I bet you would have more citizens say, do it, if there were more. Are you a citizen of the town, though?
I'm a landowner.
Sure, but the citizen feedback I get says that it would be good to do.
I don't hear any of that feedback.
Okay,
That's all I hear.
that's all
That's all I
I've
hear
heard.
through the community.
You were
is
the first person
We've
against.
got to
that I heard.
control what we're doing, not stop it. There's no way to stop it. We don't want to stop it, but we've got to control it. We've got to make sure we have a plan.
Then how come they're not here saying it? And are you disclosing those comments in your meeting minutes like you're supposed to, the ex parte communications?
Those aren't about active
They're not-
developments that are
active,
happening.
It's just generalized growth in Plain City.
This is feedback that we're getting about the general plan.
I guess it's just a little bit frustrating for you to call a public hearing to take public input, and then the only public input you get is don't do it. But you still sound like you're gonna.
You know, we've,
Similar to when we're working with developers and we get nothing but public comment that we don't want this to happen, we hate this, it's gonna ruin our neighborhood, and we still pass it because it's the right thing to do. And we can't pay attention to public clamor, which is what this is. We have to do what's right for the city.
But that's not the only opinion you get. You get both opinions, though.
Right, and we're getting both opinions here.
Anyway, that's the point I wanted to make.
Okay.
I don't want to argue about it.
We take your point.
Apologize if I did kind of argue about it, but.
All right.
It is a point of concern for me. What was the point of this public meeting then? Thanks.
I mean, we did have an open house recently too, where the public was here
Yeah.
and large tracts were brought up and everything. I mean, there's the feedback overall. We have surveys out right now that we have results too, so
Right.
there's a lot of public input on
Mhm.
things. I do understand as far as the public hearing tonight goes, there's not a lot of
Right.
people here commenting, but I mean, as far as the general plan goes, future development and all that, that's been discussed in depth in previous meetings and at open houses, and that's why this was brought to the table tonight, or was that we probably need to do this, and it was suggested by residents of Plain City and things
Well,
like-
and it was suggested by Mike Hanson with our
By our
general
planner.
because just like what we said, you know, if we make it the change on the general plan, then let's make those work for the developments that are coming, right? Like, let's plan ahead instead of trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Unfortunately now,
Yeah, we had comments
For Jared, you mentioned that active are ones that have had motions passed.
we've had public notice,
What if they paid their money?
paid their money for a submittal.
Yeah, they've
If
paid
the
their money.
application's been submitted, then it doesn't apply to them yet.
But they've paid,
Well, legal tell us that they've paid their money, they need to be able to
Mhm.
keep going. I'm just asking the question.
but you've paid money just for technical review.
We have.
Yeah,
no-
but what does that define? I mean,
Yeah,
is
that's,
that are we gonna get into a legal problem?
I don't know, that's a question for legal. I
So,
don't want
I
to
think-
necessarily answer that, but
I
I
think we need to
also,
ask them. I don't want us to get into an issue where legalities, technicalities get us into trouble. So
right, exactly.
semantics of when the process really starts, who does.
Mhm.
We don't want to have something happen like what happened up in Box Elders, like they had to do one thing or another and a whole bunch of
Right.
people got in trouble and it just caused a real problem. Let's try to do this the right way.
Okay,
And I think if it did pass, opt to make this motion, then case-by-case basis, if someone comes in and says, hey, I, made application or whatever, then either legal or whoever could determine,
that would
yes,
be
this
what
does
legal
move
would
forward,
want,
or this does not.
that would be what legal would want to do. I think also we need to decide whether or not this is just a resolution or is this an ordinance? If there's a difference at all. That's the one thing that I was, in
and-
conversation with the mayor, I wondered about too. But maybe that's just, leave that up to city council about how
Yeah,
they decide to do. If we just recommend that,
because
yeah,
we're recommending anything that we do
Yeah.
here.
they will quantify it and then they put it in where they feel it's appropriate. Okay? Thoughts? Other thoughts? I feel like this is something that we need to do. I feel like we need to take a good look at like we are with our general plan. And to be honest, I just don't have manpower. I don't have the power, the mental capacity myself to keep doing, reviews of stuff. I'm speaking for myself, but I know we've been stretched really thin as a commission in dealing with stuff too. And that's a factor that I want to, consider as well,
Mhm.
so.
Well, and it's hard to make decisions on
And it's hard to make
any
decisions
plots of land, or especially large plots of land, when you're in
without knowing the,
in the process of,
right,
it's all could change, or for the better or the
Exactly.
worse,
exactly.
It just makes it tough. So, yeah, I'm kind of,
Okay. All right. Any further discussion? I will entertain a motion. We're ready for that.
I'll make a motion to recommend suspension of overlays and rezones until completion of the general plan.
Okay? I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries 4-1. All right. Now, we're going to have a discussion motion to set a public hearing for August 13th. That seems like it's a long time away. August 13th, to amend Chapter 8 regulations applicable to all zones regarding livestock and fowl. So I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Oh, setting it. We're setting it.
We're setting it. Oh, not opening? I'll make a motion to set a public hearing for August 13th to amend Chapter 8, regulations applicable to all zones for livestock and fowl.
All right.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I mean, I guess we could try and have a public hearing on it, though.
Probably get about the same amount of people.
Probably good.
Yeah,
No, the chicken people will show up.
they might.
We're not doing anything with chickens.
No,
They're
good
not gonna
point.
show up.
Horse people might. All right, discussion motion to amend Chapter 21, detached accessory dwelling units. I went through this last commission meeting, made some revisions, which I thought were pretty good. So, in the email that I just sent you from Daniel, you know, he talked a little about his concern about the 11,000 square feet as the minimum lot area threshold. And he feels like that might appear arbitrary.
That's what was the state law.
Yeah,
That's why we picked it.
right. That's what I remembered. Okay.
So that's not arbitrary. That was what the state told us
That-
we had to
That
do.
is, that is what I remembered too, Matt.
Yeah,
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I remembered that correctly.
that's how we came up with that number.
Okay,
They gave us that number.
alrighty. Okay.
Do we
Anything
have to have a
else?
motion before we have a discussion?
If we're ready for a motion, we can do it. I don't know.
That's what I mean. Do we have to have a motion so we can have a discussion?
No.
Okay. That's all I was asking.
Okay. I'm like, hey, if we're ready for that,
So I think Tammy has all the changes that I
Mm-hmm.
had submitted for that, and that they were what I remembered, so.
and Tammy Trent has seen this too. I mean, he talked about it already. Okay. We struck the windows.
And I think we included what Dan was hoping for the improved parking.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
approved
one of the
sur-
questions that citizen had, is what constitutes a parking spot, which we define in our ordinance.
Yes.
So,
So making it an approved surface is something that was submitted on a site plan and approved as a acceptable.
Yeah, and it can't be on the street. You can't do on-street parking. It has to be on the lot. So, and that's defined in here.
and if, ordinance defines it as a size, and I believe it's 9 by 20 is the size of the,
That's in the,
yeah.
that's in a different spot,
Yeah.
not in here.
I don't want to get it in here. I want to
No, it needs to be where, only put it once, just so we don't have to
show it
change it
once,
twice.
show it right. So, yeah. All right. Hearing no more discussion, are we ready for a motion?
I'll make a motion that we're recommending, right? We recommend to the city council to approve the modifications to chapter 21 detached accessory dwelling units as outlined in the packet.
All right. Do I have a second? Any second? All right, I don't hear a second. What are our issues here?
My only issue is the same issue I've always had, is the setbacks.
Okay.
Still just trying to decide.
What would you like to see?
Well, the setbacks are the same as what the
But the accessory dwelling.
accessory dwelling is.
Right, which I voted no to initially anyway, so.
Yeah.
Now,
personally.
I think we can't change them any different, though. I don't think we can,
We
from what
could
we
be
were
specific in
told,
here,
they could.
or we could open up the accessory building ordinance and look at those setbacks as well. If you want them to correlate.
So you're saying that accessory dwelling unit setbacks and DADU setbacks have to be the same?
I think that's what the state told us.
I don't think so.
You don't think?
No, I don't think the state had any input on setback requirements. We decided to change it because initially it was the same, or, I don't know. I know the accessory buildings used to be 1 to 3 feet was a setback. And we decided that 1 foot was kind of ridiculous, so we debated between just going with the 3 feet, and then we decided on the 5 feet. And then I think there was a little bit of kickback as far as
that
Trent
was-
and stuff. It would be nice to keep everything universal because it's easier to process applications for both accessory and DADUs. But I just didn't like, my feelings are still, that the primary unit, we're so particular about our setbacks and side yard setbacks on those, and then we're essentially just building another house in a backyard, but we don't care about the setbacks there. So I don't understand why we like the setbacks that we have in place for the primary dwelling, but we don't in the backyards.
Okay.
It's my thing.
I remember when we sent this to the city council, we had recommended 10 feet,
We did,
and they changed it to 5 when they passed
to
it.
match yeah. Now, there are different members of the city council now than there were then. So, but I guess what I'm saying is either we have to rework, take those setback requirements, put them into this ordinance, or we take what we have for our accessory building ordinance. We'd have to open that up and redo.
Because it's tied to this now
It's
in that
not
ordinance?
doesn't have to be, but I'm saying if you want them to.
Because I don't want the accessory buildings to be,
You want it to be different.
yeah, because it's not a dwelling unit, they're not people
Okay.
in it. So if it's close to the property line, I don't have a problem with that, but
Right.
we like our 100-foot frontages, and we like our side yard
So,
setbacks to provide
just
space.
devil's advocate,
Okay.
if you build your accessory dwelling, and then 5 years down the road, you add your DADU, now you're 5 feet instead of 10 feet. So then at that point, did we build an accessory dwelling, or did we build a DADU? I'm just
Yeah,
devil's advocate, I'm with you, I'd rather see the accessory dwelling be closer, because it's just gonna be weeds for most people, so. But
Yeah,
I think we talked about it once before when we talked about the inside of the
did.
building. If the building, if it was inside of the building, it was as long as it met the setback, but.
So, I mean, if it changes now, like, well, yeah, I don't know. So you're saying like if something was built existing right now, and then
Right.
a year from now, they wanted to make it an accessory dwelling unit?
Or is built
I'm just saying, if you're going to put a rule saying they can't have it be within 10 feet, they build the building, and then a year later, they come back in,
Make it into a
they come
dwelling,
back in and make it into a dwelling.
then they're not compliant.
Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
It would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was, before, it was an accessory, so either, like I said, we just needed to make a rule that says, I mean, I think that's why we were trying to match them, wasn't it?
I worry that there might be confusion as,
And I'm okay either way, I just think that that would be a way that we'd have to address that.
Yeah, converting existing.
Converting it.
And the state does allow that you have to conform to setback requirements that take into account proximity to property lines, other structures, easements, window orientation, massing, or other elements.
that's
So,
HB 284.
yeah, that's the state law. So you may require it to conform to setback requirements, and it doesn't say what they have to be. So, yeah, I thought for some reason that you had to be the same as a detached, just any accessory building.
Yep.
And I don't I mean, I agree, I don't want them that close. But they allow you to change, to remodel one that's there already into a dwelling unit. And so if it's already 5 feet, within 5 feet, you can't at all. So then somebody may say that they're being, what's the word? They're being unfairly treated because they can't.
Undue hardship?
Undue
type of-
hardship, yeah, I couldn't remember the term for that,
Yeah,
but,
but when we go back to when I was on the Board of Adjustments, one of the things they have to meet is, did they do it to themselves? You know? And
well,
so-
I don't know if they did it to themselves, they may have bought the property with
Right.
that unit there already,
Right,
right?
exactly.
So, that's,
Yeah, and like I said, maybe we can make a thing saying that, you just add to it
Yeah.
saying if they convert it, then. it's
well,
gotta
and
be-
I'm like with Dustin saying, especially if you got one that's 5 feet away and it's 2 stories tall and the apartment's in the
Like that
top,
either.
you're looking right over the top of the fence, and
And
it's just,
I'm
it's just a
basing-
bad,
I'm just basing
I
it
don't
off
like that at all.
our reaction to it
Yeah,
when we first did it.
that was a very different city council though.
But that was a very different city
So,
council.
we can try it again. So right now it says detached units shall have minimum separation of the primary dwelling of 10 feet. And it says rear and side setbacks are the same as accessory buildings. We could change that to say rear and side setbacks will be 10 feet.
I think you should, honestly. If you can't put it within 10 feet of the house, why put it within 10 feet of the fence?
I agree.
And if it's 2 stories,
Say
make
it.
it 20.
No, that's,
Dustin, Dustin, we all agree with you.
well, that's
I mean,
what he said exactly what
I'm
saying,
thinking
you know?
pragmatically, just for emergency egress type of a thing where you can get out of the building comfortably and have an area, you know, if there's something wrong in the structure, you have an area where you can.
Well, one
Oh.
thing to think about, well, they put their stairs on the other side. Because you can't put stairs in the easement. And if they tried, they'd have to move it another 3 or 4 feet to get the stairs in. So that would help.
Sorry, I'm just looking for this. We left it to where the dwelling can be 25 feet tall too, right? And 2 stories? Yeah. So, and I don't,
What about a thought of, could we make it so that, starting today, like, so we're not eliminating any current accessory buildings?
Well,
You know what I mean? Like,
the other thing, most of those garages or barns that they want to switch over, they're gonna have a massive problem
'cause they're not-
converting because they're not designed for the code,
For the rating.
fire and structure for the loads that they need to be designed for. So that's gonna be one deterrent anyway. And so, you know, that's gonna be, they're gonna have a hard time overcoming that anyway.
Once you
But-
change that use to a person
then
dwelling.
it meets
Yeah,
you.
once you occupy it
Yeah.
as a residence, everything changes.
Changes everything.
I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I personally would be okay saying as of adoption of this, on this date, you know, this time moving
think it
forward.
I mean, then we're being, like, and we're gonna eliminate what you're
I
saying.
don't think we necessarily need to worry about that, because I think it's just grandfathered in.
I think that's all we can do. I don't think we can apply it to current ones. This would only apply to new applications.
No,
so.
we could,
It would, okay. So if someone had an existing building right now 5 feet off,
yeah, they'd be fine.
and they come in 2
It's
years
already
from
been
now.
established as a DADU, yeah.
Oh, so
Well,
you're
no, he's
saying,
saying if people have built stuff that they want to convert in the
like
future.
they've built a shop or a garage and they convert it? So-
Because these have been this way for a few years, so someone could have built a shop already and been with the thought that I'm going to make this an apartment later on when my kids are older or something. Is that kind of what you're
Yeah,
saying?
that's
Like,
all I'm saying.
If someone's having them now, then all of a sudden we're pulling an audible. So it's like, hey,
I'm just saying, when they built the building, they met the current requirements, and then we're moving the target.
Yeah, because they may not have it finished now. You're talking for future
But,
conversions.
I mean, I'm good either way.
So
'cause
Gary, where are you suggesting we put that setback requirement in to this ordinance?
But
I
and
like
this
the
is just
10
my-
feet. I do like the
I
10
do
feet.
too.
Because this is the only reason you asked why I was nervous to make the motion, that's why.
I
And
think-
if someone else has a different reason for why they didn't want a second, then they can too. And this is just my opinion. I'm not saying
No.
everyone has to agree. That's just my personal.
No, this is fine. Matt, you're going to city council next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might be good to gauge the city council's feelings on it. You know, hey, this is, you know, we're still working on the DAD ordinance. This is why. What is your feedback? You know, this is what the ordinance says right now. You know, we originally had it as 5 feet off of the property line. We want to have it as 10. What do you guys think? I'm thinking there are members of the city council that would be supportive of that.
So are you thinking we table this and get some feedback first, or
I would say, yeah, that's what I would.
minor enough change that we could just amend it and?
Planning Commission.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just speak up real quick. I'm 100% in favor of making it the 10 feet because I probably do at least 5 easement releases a month because everybody wants to get into that, get that 5 foot closer to that fence. So, and putting it at 10 foot, majority of subdivisions, they've got those, 10-foot utility easements on the sides and in the back. And so, there's times that I have to deny it because they've already got existing utilities that run back through there between drain lines or anything like that. So, just wanted to give you that input.
That's great
No,
input.
that's a good idea.
Then maybe what we do is.
I think you did just do it.
We just get the motion.
Most of the new ones are putting a PUE all the way around.
Yeah. I don't love the idea of it, of the aesthetic of how it would sit in a backyard with it being 10 feet off. But the privacy factor and the distance factor from your neighbor that we are so proud of with our 100-foot frontages and side yard setbacks, I don't know why we just throw that out the window when it's in a backyard, you know? I don't want the neighbor's house there, but I don't care if their apartment in the backyard is right on my property
Have some
line.
guys just open it up and stepping out.
Well, the way it is now, yeah, you could, with only a 6-foot fence, I mean, you could be standing at your kitchen sink and your DADU just checking your neighbor out, you know? I mean, it's, and I don't know if 10 feet's gonna change the world either. I don't know. I mean, I really don't. I just,
Well, it does force us to not go into a PUE. It's gonna ease Dan's.
yeah, they don't have to get all the sign-offs and stuff.
Exactly.
Let's make it something a little easier, yeah.
Okay, well, let's make that change and let's get it out.
Okay.
Do you want to double it for a second story?
Hey, that's,
Wow. So every story's 10 feet? Is that what you're saying?
I had to double it when I wanted to do a 2-story building in an office building. All the setbacks doubled
Where was this at?
in Pleasant View in my office building that I wanted to add on to
In a commercial zone, huh?
in a commercial zone.
Pleasant View.
Yep.
Wow.
They did, sorry. the
They didn't
setback-
double it, it went up by 10. So I had a 20-foot, and if I had 2-story, I had to go back to 30.
Huh, interesting. Yeah,
Daniel, our planner, has something to say.
Yeah.
Daniel M.
So, sorry, that was a mistake, but I did want to point out though that just on a side note, based on my reading of the State Bill 284, the Planning Commission could recommend a minimum lot size lower than 11,000 square feet. So if you look at line item 1998, it actually specifies that. It just mentions that the minimum entitlement for a lot size is 11,000 square feet.
Yeah.
But I just thought I'd point that out for clarification.
Yeah, we knew it could be smaller, and we didn't want it to
Okay.
be.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And that's what I was a little concerned that might be considered arbitrary. But if your reasoning is strictly based on the minimum of the state bill there, I think that's defensible, so.
Okay,
well, and that's also the smallest lot that we allow in Plain
Right.
City right now, so.
Right.
Okay.
That's as small as zoned.
Yeah,
That's
small
our small
zone,
zone.
yeah, small zone.
all right.
Anyway,
I think,
I just threw that out. It
no.
kind of
that's
makes
good.
it weird if you tried it. I've got it written how you could, but
I think we could move this on the city council then. I think with that minor change and get it to them.
just
If they
in,
wanna
in
change
number
it-
2, we make that all 10 feet,
Yep.
and then just leave it at that.
What about the, right above it, the detached unit shall have a minimum separation? You'll probably want to reword that.
Should that be part of number 2, that sentence?
Well, we said it twice.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got that in there twice.
Yeah.
So we've got to take out rear and side setbacks are the same as accessory buildings.
Strike that right.
Strike that sentence, and then see site development standards for appropriate zone. You strike both, you strike that.
Okay.
Actually, just strike both sentences, because
Yeah, either strike.
we've got number 2, and it takes care of all that.
Yeah, it's the same,
Right.
same thing. Yeah, that sentence that starts detached units shall have a minimum.
And then leave 2,
And rear side and corner lot side setbacks will all be 10 feet.
Sorry, I'm
You're good.
getting on your phone there.
and I'll tell city council we toyed with if the dwelling unit is in the second story of the structures. There you go.
Did you really want to do it like a graduated height?
No. Dan would never know how to do that. He would have a hard time enforcing it, so I think is the problem you'd run into, so.
Okay.
You don't want to make it non-enforceable. I don't know.
You're thinking of me.
I did notice that if we do it this way, so you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 should be 9 and not 10. We took out 9.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, she just struck it through, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet that will auto adjust once she deletes that.
Oh, once it's deleted, yeah, it
I'll
probably,
make sure that,
okay, it's just strikeout, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, gotcha.
you're right. Okay, I like it. No, I think this is good.
okay, so we're striking just the double sentence there. It's unnecessary at the bottom of 1. Changing number 2, just to make it 10 feet instead of the same as accessory building. So that's the only change. I think that's minor enough. We can just make that change and recommend it. I think.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I think that's a good course.
You clear on the change? Okay. And is that all right if I make a motion?
Yeah. Yeah, good with me.
I will move to amend chapter 21 with the change that we discussed about the setbacks.
Have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Okay. All right, motion appears unanimous. We'll move on.
Are we gonna approve all the other changes that are in red?
Oh, we've already done that.
No, no, those weren't approved before, were they?
Well,
I didn't think we approved them.
all the ones that were done in red?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, that, I think that was part of the motion too, like you're.
Oh, is that part of the motion?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. I thought his motion was just the
just
step.
for that specific
Yeah.
thing, no. I think,
Okay.
I think the way Rob phrased it was, with all the changes that we
Yeah.
specifically.
Okay.
So changes to chapter 21.
All right.
That's the change that we discussed.
Okay.
Okay, good. Administrative items. Existing site plan for a new sign at Wasatch Peaks Credit Union located at 3631 West, 2600 North. Have any representatives from Wasatch Peaks? Come on up.
Todd Schroeder, Chief Marketing Officer at Wasatch Peaks Credit.
Okay,
I'm Matt Wren with Yesco.
okay. Just a quick question, were you guys involved with the original sign back in 2020? Okay, okay, so you know the backstory behind that whole thing. Okay, we've kind of looked at this pretty extensively, both as a commission and with our staff. First off, I'll just go through, what, do you guys have a presentation or anything you want to do first, or?
No, I think we've been working with the city on the
Okay.
prior permit. And I know the question was whether there was some exemption given to Kelly's Corner that allowed us to have a sign. That was, I think, resolved with documentation moving forward.
So, so why do you want the revision now? It's 5 years, doesn't seem like that long of a time. Is it?
Well, I was on the Zoom call 2 months ago.
Okay. That was you.
The one that didn't work.
Okay.
The reason why is because our sign is not even visible.
Okay.
With the required vegetation and the mow strip and the grassy knoll, you can't even see our sign. And so we've got a major capital investment in Plain City, not only in our capital structure, but as a corporate partner in this community. And so we need to be able to communicate, our messaging and be more visible.
So do you have, is your sign as part of the Kelly's Corner sign?
No, I mean, we have a square.
You have a square, but your logo, your thing's not on it, or is it on it?
We have a logo on
Can't recall.
both of the, I guess, the monument sign and the pole sign.
And the pole sign. That has, like, it has AutoZone and Dollar Tree and all that, and Kent's.
That came years later.
Okay.
That was installed.
Okay. All right. Okay, questions? Any other questions from commissioners?
No, I don't think from these guys, I don't have any questions, no.
All right.
So I guess I missed where that got resolved. How did we end up with the extra sign there?
I think the conclusion was, and this was a while ago, so we talked about that as a commission. You saw the minutes, right, from 2020? The commission, that was,
This paperwork?
I'd send it to you in an email. I'll get it up right here. But, yeah, Tammy had sent those out a while ago, and I forwarded it to you this
Are you
morning.
talking about the minutes and then the letter from Mike Kurzweil and stuff?
Well, there's minutes from a meeting in 2020 where the sign was approved because Wasatch Peace had come in and said, with our marketing, we needed a separate sign with the lights that was able to do a message, not just the square. And so that was approved in 2020 to build the sign that they've got.
Oh, okay. Because I read that they needed like a different kind of sign, not specifically the.
Well, now they're asking for a different kind of sign.
You did.
They want to replace the one that they've got.
So what was discussed was, I'll just read off the minutes. Commissioner Faulkner expressed disapproval for the proposed lighting shown on the preliminary plans for the credit union building. She reminded those present that backlit signs were prohibited for the AutoZone and the Kelly Corner development. She urged consistency in development standards. And then the motion itself, you can get into the discussion. I talked about the three contingencies, that the lighting of signs is subject to review and approval by the planning commission. Compliance with development agreement and landscaping requirements, namely the evergreen shrubbery, which is causing the issue on top of the berm on 2600 North, and the engineer confirmation of proper stormwater detention basin sizing, because I think there was a basin out there as well that was affected by it. Okay? But I still am a little concerned about having another backlit sign up there.
Well, especially since our ordinance doesn't allow one. I mean, I get that there's one there now, and so
Right.
with the development, a shopping center, whatever we call this, there's really only supposed to be one pole sign.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got two. I don't think we can tell them, take your sign down.
Nope.
That's not allowed.
Do that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that. It's just now, can they replace the one that they've got with something bigger? Because they've got one.
The ordinance does say that you cannot replace or improve it.
Yeah, and the ordinance does say if
Saw
they've
that,
got one,
okay.
you can't make it bigger. So that's where we're at.
That's what the ordinance does say. Yeah, I think Josh had referenced me to that. Tammy had sent that out earlier today too to me. It says,
I was just reading it here.
10-12-14 -M-2. Signs for which permits were previously issued and which are made non-conforming by provisions in this chapter shall be permitted to remain in accordance with section 10-12-9 of this chapter. Under no circumstances shall such non-conforming signs be remodeled or replaced. The provision of subsection K of this section shall apply to such non-conforming signs. So, there's that too.
I think my issue is that it was with, I want all the businesses to succeed and everything. But I want all of them to succeed, and I think having a large sign the same size as the shopping center sign detracts from the shopping center sign, which is unfair to all the other businesses who are not allowed to have,
And it sets
a sign.
precedent too.
including a competing credit union inside there. And so I don't think that we can allow them to make a sign this big that is gonna detract from the shopping center sign.
Could we work something out with you regarding the landscaping?
Well, I guess I'm a little confused because it conforms within city code.
Yes, but it doesn't conform within that specific development.
But it does.
No, it conforms with the
So this-
business sign, not a shopping center sign, which this is a shopping center.
So there's a provision in there under G that says shopping center signs. In shopping centers, furnished for each separate store shall be based on the width of the front of each business. The signs for such businesses shall be attached to the front of each store. One detached or attached sign for each street frontage may be used to designate the name of the shopping center.
Well, and I think that's the point of clarification that Trent sent to, a couple of days ago. He said, since this is a corner lot, the frontage is limited to one street. Because the north property line fronts a state road with no access, the allowable frontage is limited to the east property line. He's basically saying this is its own separate parcel, and it's allotted its own individual sign, freestanding sign.
It would be if it was in a C2 zone, but the caveat to the whole thing is that this building lot is in a plaza. It's in a Kelly's Corner shopping plaza. So it's in a shopping center area. It's part of a development. So it's a building lot within that that's sold by Kelly's Corner. So the fact that this particular area is a plaza or a shopping center, this provision would have to be in place. So technically, the initial Wasatch Peak sign shouldn't have been approved, honestly.
Well, and then we've got the letter back in 2021. This is from Mike.
Mm-hmm, we have it.
It says further, it does not conflict with any other provision in the Kelly Corner Development Agreement. The staff ascertains the sign does not exceed the height, size or height regulations, and reissuance of the sign permit commits the builder thereof to compliance with all provisions and laws according to the type of work. So it wasn't ever considered a shopping center sign.
Right, but it's in a shopping center plaza. So, I mean, that was a staff member, it's not the land use authority, so, I mean, they can offer their suggestions and their opinions and according to their research, but, that's why we have probably a commission, because we have multiple eyes looking at things in the ordinance before they get approvals. And, the commission missed that. I mean, we missed it. I was on the commission back then, but,
Me too.
there's been other discussions and other businesses since then that have proposed signage, and this has been something that was brought to our attention and played a role in their not having their own individual signs either on the parcels that are individually sold out there as well. So we've researched this. I've talked to the attorney on it and everything, and it's all being interpreted right. The other problem is putting a sign that big right there from down the road is going to make your sign more visible at 25 feet, but it's also going to block and make less visible the the shopping center sign that's behind it. So,
I don't know if you ever saw that survey that we put together. We did a lighting survey and a sign survey to show that there wouldn't be any conflict.
And you do have some perspective views too, that show it.
Yeah, because really the
But what-
code allows for a taller, larger, you know.
What we don't want to see happen here is that we don't want to see a sign for you and then AutoZone comes and says, hey, why'd you let them have a sign? We want a sign too. So then we have a sign for AutoZone and it goes all the way down the line there, you know, and the intent, you know, I was back when Kelly's Corner came in and the intent was to have that main sign serve as the source. And we didn't want to have any other signs because across the street you have some residences and there are still concerns about light issues coming from into their residences, and we want to be fair and treat them fair as well.
Yeah, and that was why we made sure to, you know, show the lighting would not be affecting the, you know, or number one, that wouldn't block the you know, the existing Kent sign. And then also that the way that light is emitted is not gonna be directed into, you know, homes or anything like that. It would just be directed toward the road. But we could, for the code, we could have gone, I think, 35 or 45 feet, and we reduced it.
Understood. Mm-hmm.
And it's really, the main intent is just to get above the trees and to have that LED sign that's on it is ineffective. So it's being able to broadcast that message to that's legible for the traffic that's driving past it.
yeah, and I completely understand that. But the ordinance is what the ordinance is, you know, as far as the shopping centers go, the provision in there. So I think, you know, even if you know, you were able to get one, you know, you are able to get the initial one that's there approved in the past. And unfortunately, this was just missed in the ordinance. And with other applications and inquiries that we've had, it's been brought to our attention, and we just simply missed it, I think, you know, in the past. So now that we're researching it and looking at it closer and trying to be in fairness to all the other businesses and people that have addressed this, and now that this has been brought to our attention, it's just, the ordinance is what the ordinance is. So it's gonna be hard to tell one business they can have a sign when other businesses can't, because the provision in the ordinance states that in a shopping center that there can only be one plaza sign. But there can be one on each frontage.
It does say that there can be one shopping plaza sign, but does the ordinance limit other parcels from having a freestanding sign?
Yeah, because it says, in the shopping center's frontage for each separate store shall be based on the width of the front of each business. So your frontage would be based off the front of your business. And signage for such businesses shall be attached to the front of each store. So per the shopping center code, you are allowed a sign, and your sign size would be based on the front of the building size. But then it also has to be attached to the store, or to the, whatever it is, in this case, a bank. Well, then it says one detached or attached sign for each street frontage may be used to designate the name of the shopping center. And they do have that. They have the huge Kent's one there on the 2,600 foot frontage. And then if you consider the frontage over there, we'd have to get into the weeds on that one. There's another small one over by True Value that says, I don't even know what it says, but there is another sign over there that has a couple little spots. So there's one on each side, which the provision does allow. So those are in place. So I mean, it doesn't allow for each individual business in there to have their own detached sign. It's just simply each frontage the code allows for each frontage to have one plaza sign.
So for clarification, is that inline strip center retail stores? Is what that's referring to?
It doesn't spell that out. It just says a shopping center or plaza, or shopping center signs.
So a flag lot is considered a shopping center? I'm just trying to understand.
Does it fall under the Kelly Corner development, like the development of the anchor tenant? Is it part of that development, or is it its own separate parcel outside of the development? or shopping center. So that's the thing here, is this is a plaza. This is Kelly's Corner Shopping Plaza. That's what the sign right on the corner says. It's a plaza. It's all one. The development agreement and the development approvals all fall within that Kelly's
That
Corner
parcel.
designation.
Yeah.
So
Not
if you.
parcels.
Parcels.
But yeah, I mean the entire
Yeah,
block.
it's encompassed in a plaza or a center. So it's all part of Kelly's Corner development agreement, right? Like, it's all written up that way. So if your lot was independent of Kelly's Corner, developed independently of Kelly's Corner, outside of that Kelly's Corner boundary, then you could do your own sign, and it would fall under the codes and provisions that Trent outlined and that the C2 zoning sign code outlines. But the shopping center is the whole thing here. The fact that it falls in Kelly's Corner, that puts a limit on signage.
And your statement from Mike, consider invalid because that person is a staffer. Is that what I'm understanding?
It was 5 years
Well,
ago.
we can't base a decision, a motion on a commission based off of a city employee's.
Former employee, that was
interpretation,
5
former-
years ago.
I still
Right.
don't have it in front of me, but he says it's in compliance with the Kelly Corners agreement, not with our city code, when you read that.
Yeah, it did say that there's nothing in the Kelly's Corner agreement that would be against that, but
Yeah, so we're not, yeah.
it's not spelled out in the Kelly's Corner development agreement. It's just, it's in the ordinance, the city ordinance. So yeah, depending on how you look at that, I kind of got that same feeling. He was referring to the development agreement, like, there's nothing in the development agreement.
That's what he was.
But the city code, he didn't say anything about the city, there isn't anything in the city code or ordinance.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So,
So we're certain the Wasatch Peaks is not, it is part of Kelly's
was
Corner.
part of it. That was,
It
and
was
that was
never
part of the
separate.
agreement. Is that when we did Kelly's Cove, that all those individual parcels, like Gary said,
They were all part.
were all part of
Okay.
that development.
All right.
So when I said parcel, I misspoke.
Yeah, parcels, yeah.
Development and
Because
parcel.
they do
Okay.
own the parcels separately.
Right, right. Okay.
Like, I think there's even a Kelly's Corner, in the corner of the Wasatch Peaks corner, right in that corner, there's a Kelly's, the
Yeah, that's what I was
Kelly's-
thinking.
Yeah,
It's
Gary
right
just-
in the corner.
Gary
right?
just pulled it up off of the street view.
Is
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah, there it is. That's just a minor sign.
just a little, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little one, it's not very big, but.
But, yeah, we got that and we got the big one. And that
So-
was the intent. That's what we wanted to see. We
And I
didn't
think
want-
that's why there was so much discussion on the initial sign application, is because everyone was like, what, there was an intent, but that was so long ago that
Right.
the current commissioners didn't really know, and.
Yeah, that's why I kept asking the question, is it part of Kelly's Corner, is it not? How did the sign get put in? Was it before the big one was there? I don't know. So I was just trying to get timing, asking the
It was
question.
after, but yeah.
Unrelated, were you gonna put this new sign on the same foundation?
No, it's,
Okay, good.
yeah, different
That's
foundation.
just making sure.
There's a big enough area there.
Hey, your other sign was way too tall for the existing foundation.
Don't get
As
me
a,
started.
as a structural engineer, so I was worried about that, so.
All right. So, options for a motion.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Options for a motion. Doesn't sound like approval.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know.
Sounds like this is a denied
Right.
or a table. But I don't know why we table it.
What do you do with it? It's,
Yeah.
we can't take it down, we can't ask them to take it down,
Nope.
that wouldn't follow ordinance either, but
Nope.
allowing them to replace it doesn't follow ordinance. So we're kind of, either way, we can't follow the ordinances as they're written right now.
Mm-hmm. Where's the closest tree that your sign that you have now? Do you have a tree, like, I noticed,
Got a picture on here.
Yeah, the most strip, it's hard to see your sign because of the trees.
yeah,
Right. do we have to have those trees?
Not necessarily.
I don't know
Because
what the
I don't like, I can't see turning right when I get up there anyways. Well,
About the trees necessarily, if it was in the development agreement or not, but I know that there was supposed to be a berm with shrubs to.
yeah,
protect
berm with
headlights
shrubs,
from parking, but-
headlights with parking weren't
I
shining
hate
it
taking
out.
out those trees though, and just taking them down. I don't know.
That's because you're an architect.
I know.
Could I just ask one more quick question? Is Trent Meyerhofer, he's the planner?
He's the building.
He's the building official.
Building official.
Yeah. He works for
And
multiple
so,
cities.
And-
him saying it appears that the sign complies with all applicable sign code requirements, is that?
In a commercial,
As, he's looking at it as if it was you could be doing it as an independent business, not part of the development. And we asked him to clarify that, and he's like, I don't know if it was part of the development, it's all one shopping center or not. He wasn't part of it when that was put in, so he didn't have an opinion on that.
Yeah, he answered as it was presented, which he was under the impression it was just its own little lot. He had no idea that it was part of Kelly's Corner. So he's like, oh, yeah, well, I didn't know. I didn't have that part of that piece of information. Yeah. But he is absolutely right, outside of the fact that it's a shopping center. He would be absolutely right.
Okay. All right. Are we ready for a motion?
Ready for a motion?
Okay, let's hear it.
I'll make a motion to deny the new site plan proposal for Wasatch Peaks Credit Union sign upgrade.
Okay,
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay.
Is there any sort of redress or appeal process with this decision?
The adjustment board, maybe?
I have a board of adjustments
We
anymore.
don't have it anymore, do we?
Mm-mm.
I'm not, a variance?
City, we don't have a variance board anymore, right? It's gone.
It'd come to city council, city
We'd
council.
have to come back and say that we would have to allow for
You'd have to look into that, but yeah, you could, there is an opportunity, an option to come before city
Tammy, will
council.
this go on city council?
No,
Oh, it's just,
but if they pursued a variance on it, then.
I can talk to the city council next week about it and just say,
Okay.
look, we talked about it, we didn't know what our options even were.
Yeah.
To even do anything, and so what can we do now?
Right.
Since there's no variance and no board of adjustments anymore, so. And how should we work with them to move
Sure,
forward?
sure. And maybe, there's a work where we can get make that sign more visible that we have, and work with you
And
guys.
if you're able to move forward, I don't like the height either way. It's a little too tall. You can't see the Kent sign behind it. I know you did but when you're as far back as you are, you can't see Kent's or what they're trying to message. Their messaging gets hidden behind your sign. So, just letting you know.
Okay. But that, give the city office a call and
I think they ought to look into the landscaping and see if there's something they can do there.
I agree.
Moving those trees or doing something, 'cause,
Something.
I mean, what they did was supposed to block, those people across the street. That didn't do anything.
No, it's not working.
Adams are getting lit up all night long.
Nope.
and-
Yeah.
The idea was that the hedges would grow up and it would block the headlights from cars going, in the parking lot, but I don't think that's
There's something they can do about the
what I can
landscaping.
see. But yeah,
Well, there's no berm in front of Fizz,
that's right.
Right.
so, or whatever it is. Is it Fizz, right?
I think
Twisted
it's
Sugar, I don't know, whatever.
Anyway.
Swig, whatever that
Well, and
that place is, there's no berm.
And they
Go
put-
right
and-
around there and they come driving in, right?
they put up a giant screen marquee, whatever it is, on their building without our permission too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been, talking about that too, yeah.
Thanks for not doing that.
So even for landscaping,
I think the city would be amenable to something like that.
so would that go before city council as well?
So when I was researching the development agreement, there are landscaping requirements that were in the development agreement. I don't know, I know for a fact the berm, there was supposed to be a berm with hedge along there.
There's a hedge.
So that for sure.
It's
yeah,
a
it just hasn't
berm-ish.
grown. So that hasn't, so that would have to stay, I know for a fact. As far as the trees,
Yeah, I mean, from
saying
Plain City standards, that's a berm.
Yeah,
Right,
the-
and
yeah,
maybe
the
that's what
trees
I'm
are
saying.
what are
Either
the
we
biggest
relocate or
problem.
we adjust those trees so that your sign is more visible and we can work with
Because
something.
you can't see, like, they're trying to put up what their interest rates are or whatever. You
Yeah,
can't see it until you're,
that's what you're trying to get,
sign's like right there.
Yeah.
You gotta
okay.
get around those trees before you see anything.
Yeah, so especially that one tree that looks like it's to the west,
Yeah.
that's probably a big.
The west one and, well,
Yeah.
the east one. blocks
Yeah,
the corner.
and maybe that's something that we could do, if we could, I don't know.
yeah,
I know,
that would be something we'd have to look into.
You said the architect, I mean, doesn't like getting rid of trees.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Yeah,
The structural guy will cut them down.
no, they,
So, but to answer his question, what would what would we recommend the next step to be?
that's a good question.
Well, I'll ask the city council
Let's
what
do
it
that.
is next week.
If you're patient with us, we'll
And
do that
who-
next
let's
week.
get him someone to reach out to.
Well, you can reach out to Tammy, I mean, and then, we'll report back. Yeah, and you could come to city council and just say, in public comments, just say, hey, the commission kind of,
So it wouldn't have to be an agenda item, it'd just be.
no, you could come on up and say that to him.
Yeah, during public comment.
Matt will be there and he'll be able to reference anything that was talked about tonight.
And as part of Matt's, Commissioner McBride's presentation, he's supposed to go over what we discussed as a commission and kind of get their feedback on it, so,
So you could go up during public comment if you just wanted to.
yeah, do that as well.
I mean, there may be a possibility you could take the digital sign out of that monument and put it on the building.
Yeah, that's true too.
I think there might be a little bit more, like if that was to be official, then there may be, like, I actually like the digital aspect of this sign, because
The
it's not
marquee
bright.
type of
It
thing.
gets the message across, but it's not bright. The Fizz one can be awfully bright, it's like a bright LED sign.
Yeah, and,
That's gotta be addressed, but, like, taking that, just like a black backdrop with I consider that a fairly low emittance digital print, like, yeah. If someone was to come up, with the residential aspect, because the sign code does change a little bit where it's adjoining to residential properties. Like our elementary school sign, I always complain about that one, because that one's insanely bright, and you can see it a block away, reflecting off stuff. So I would be completely against that, but this sign out here that you have is awesome, because you could probably stand 30 feet from that and not get any light emittance onto you, but you can see it from a long ways away. So there may be an option, according to the code, you do have signage, size requirements with whatever the measurement or circumference area of the front of that credit union is, but the code does allow you to attach a sign on the building. And I don't know if the mountains are on there, I'd have to look into it more. You got a backlit logo. I don't know if that classifies as the sign, or if you just pulled that off, the logo off, and put the screen up. I don't know, that would be something we could look at too, but.
Who's in charge of that landscaping? Is that Kent's or is that, do you guys? do the
That's,
landscaping?
We cut our own grass.
Okay, and what about
As far as the mow strip, I don't know.
okay, and the trees, like, is that your
On
responsibility?
the grassy berm, that's us, yeah.
Okay, so, but the berm and then the hedge, I think that's required. I don't know that the trees are required, though. If we could move those trees, I don't know, would that be you guys that are responsible for those, or?
Well, yeah, that grassy berm is ours, yeah.
Okay, so that's what I would like to look into, is if we can move those trees for them, but I don't know.
Yeah. I know the development agreement for Kelly Corner has landscape requirements, so
It
we just
does-
have to see if the
It does
tree.
mention the trees, okay.
I don't think there are trees on that east road,
Yeah,
though. Or down by.
It seems like there might be some down by True Value, but I don't think there is
There are.
by,
There's one
Or
right by,
tree
there's
or-
one actually planted right in front of their sign, so,
is there?
yeah, it's,
So just one tree there.
it's literally right in front of
Yeah, there are some down on that end, but I don't think there's anything behind Dollar Tree or that other.
Yeah,
vacant
well,
lot.
that one vacant lot's still vacant, so they haven't done anything there.
Anything there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to pull up that Kelly's Corner deal and just see what the landscaping, requirements or agreements were then. If it doesn't say the trees have to be there,
I don't recall the trees being the issue. I thought it was just
The berm and the
hedges
ditch.
Yeah.
to prevent,
This is why we
Right.
didn't want to open development agreements for less than 100 acres.
Yeah.
But I think modifying the development agreement would be, as far, something as little as trees would be a lot easier than, and where it's fair to everybody else,
Yeah. I agree.
Right,
I
right.
think this would be a much better solution, so I'd
Okay.
like to
I don't know, food
pursue
for
that.
thought.
We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. No city council. It
Nope.
was during the 4th of July.
I came and waited just in case, but nobody showed, and
Serious?
No.
No. All right, commission comments. Commissioner McBride.
Nothing more than my emails, my novel
Appreciate it.
emails that I sent.
That's all right. You type faster than I do. Commissioner Skeen.
Nothing.
Commissioner Ortega.
nothing.
Commissioner Westergaard.
Nothing. I think, well, 4th of July went great.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah, it was
everybody
fun.
had a good
That was
time.
super fun.
It was awesome.
Everything, no problems, so.
That was super fun.
Another year of not having to be on a float, that was pretty good.
No, I have no comments either, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
I
Aye.
still think we don't need to do that.
I didn't catch it.
What?
We finished the agenda, the meeting's over.
Yeah. No
Don't need to do a motion.
We, at the state licensing board, we just say, as the chair, I'm supposed to say,
Yep.
time is this time,